Namaste to all. Uh, my thanks to organizing committee and coordinates, members, and my co-speakers who are the great scholars like Dr. Satyamurthy and Dr. Kulakarni, Mr. Gopu, Mr. Babu, Dr. Suresh, Dr. Shivanagareddy, Dr. Preeta Nair, etc. Thank you so much. So my focus is on Kalanemi and Asura as gleaned from various Ramayanas. Who are the demons? Or Asuras, Rakshasas. Gods and demons are the twofold offsprings of Prajapati, the creator of all beings. The demons, by brute force, had dominated everything, but Devas or Suras, by their intelligence and cunning, got all under their control. So says Brahadaranya Upanishad. There's a small mention about these things in Taraka Maya War, which is mentioned in Skanda, Padma, and Brahmanda Puranas. After Devasura Sangram, churning of milk ocean, Samudra Manthan, the Amrita was denied to Daityas and Danavas. Danavas means a race descending from Kashyapa and Danu. Danu is the daughter of Daksha Prajapati. Daityas are a race descending from Kashyapa and Diti. During Devadanava Sangram war, Devas led by Indra, Asuras led by the son of Virochana, that is Kalanemi. As Amrita was denied by Devas with the help of Mohini, avatar by Vishnu during the war of Devadanava Sangram, Kalanemi was killed by Vishnu with his Sudarshana Chakra, which is beautifully shown in Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Kalanemi, son of Virochana, grandson of Prahlada, slain by Vishnu in Taraka Maya war. Kalanemi's daughter Vrinda becomes Jalandhara Asura's wife. Vrinda is a staunch devotee of Vishnu, embodiment of sacred plant Tulasi. Vrindavan is named after her. Etymologically, Kalanemi means filly of the wheel of time. It represents the time segments of the wheel of time, or Kala Chakra, means the afternoon and evening leading to sunset, period of darkness, also symbolizes Dwapara Yuga moves forward, moves towards Kali Yuga. So I'm again repeating, my focus is on Kalanemi and his association in various Ramayanas and his combat with Hanuman. Kalanemi is Maricha's son and one of the important ministers of Ravana, Dashakanta. To recall Maricha, his notable exploit in his role in kidnapping Sita in the guise of Maya golden deer, later slain by Rama. Sita was abducted, kidnapped by Ravana, deceitfully from Panchavati in the absence of Rama and Lakshmana. Kalanemi's story is not mentioned, please remember, Kalanemi's story is not mentioned in the original Valmiki Ramayana and Kamba Ramayana, but included in many works like Tulsidas Ramachandra Manas, its adaptation in Adhyatma Ramayana and in various Western, Bengali and Telugu adaptations. A small note about Adhyatma Ramayana. It is basically a philosophical work, transcendental work relating to Atman, soul. It says here Rama as a Nirguna Brahman. The author of this Adhyanta Rama is Veda Vyasa, wrote in 7 kandas. Seventh one is Uttarakanda, describes banishment of Sita, birth of Lava and Kusha, Rama's departure from earth to Vaikuntha. An interesting subchapter describes a conversation between Lakshmana and Sri Rama, a great philosophical work called Rama Gita. The subtle difference between Valmiki's Ramayana and Vedavyasa's Adhyanta Ramayana. Valmiki portrays Rama as an ideal person, ideal king, whereas Vedavyasa, in his Adhyanta Ramayana, he portrays Sri Rama as the incarnation of Parabrahman, Nirguna Brahman. So Kalanemi's episode in Ramayana is written in few Telugu texts like Samira Kumara Vijayamu, written by Pushpagiri Timmanna. Here, Hanuman is glorified by his heroic exploits and his magical power. Kalanemi was mentioned in Ranganatha Ramayana. It is a Dvipada, and also in Bhaskara Ramayana by Bhaskara, Mulla Ramayana by Atukuri Mulla, etc. Ranganatha Ramayana was composed in 17,290 couplets in Dvipada meter. This meter is lyrical and can either be recited like the Valmiki Ramayana, which is written in Anustupa meter, or sung like the Ramacharita written in Doha Chaupai. There is a Telugu proverb which is popular called Kalanemi Japam or Kalanemi penance, which means the falsehood penance, hypocrisy, is still in vogue usage in many parts of AP. This is drawn from the story of Kalanemi, demon, who created an illusory hermitage, illusory ashram, and conducts himself as doing penance when Hanuman approaches him. When Lakshmana lost consciousness due to the Shakti arrow shot by Indrajit in the battlefield, the royal physician Sushena asked Hanuman to rush to Dronagiri hills and fetch 4 important medicinal herbs, namely Mrita Sanjeevani, restorer of life; Vishalya Karini, remover of arrows; Sandana Karini, restorer of the skin; and Savarnya Karini, restorer of skin. As he could not identify the specific herb in the Dronagiri, he approached the whole hill and brings it back in time to save Lakshmana. So en route to Dronagiri, something happened. As advised by Ravana, Kalanemi, who was the trusted minister of Ravana, to create obstacles and delay in reaching Dronagiri, she created an illusory hermitage, ashram, in guise of an ascetic doing penance, acting penance. Hanuman, en route, felt thirsty. Kalanemi offered him the water from his kamandalu and asked Hanuman to refresh. Hanuman declined his offer. Kalanemi then directed him to a lake, abode of a crocodile, Makari, thinking that Hanuman would be killed by this Makari crocodile. While Hanuman drinking the water, the Makari caught hold with its powerful jaws and swallowed Hanuman. Hanuman comes out and kills it. Then Makari turns out to be a beautiful celestial Apsara whose name is Dhyanamali after her Shapa Vimochana. The story of Dhyanamali Apsara is as follows. She was given a Vimana, a celestial chariot, by Shiva. The sage Sandalya saw her beauty and decided to mate with her. She then humbly declined for 3 days as she was in periods. Then Ravana, who is mentioned as Dashagriva, ravished her forcefully, resulted in birth of a male child called Atikaya, who was taken away by Ravana. Once Shiva got impressed by Atikaya, he taught all the secrets of archery to him, which is mentioned in the Adhyatma Ramayana. The Sandilya sage, upon learning this, he cursed both Ravana and Dhyanamali. Because of the curse, Dhyanamali Apsara remained as a crocodile in the lake. Due to Hanuman, she was relieved of her curse, Shapa Vimochana. The story is almost parallel to the episode of Ahalya, who was turned into a stone in the forest due to the curse by her husband Gautama, as she was molested by Indra. In both the cases, Dhyanamali and Ahalya were beautiful and faithful women, chaste women to their husbands, respectively. In both cases, they were victimized and cursed for no fault of their own, but due to the desires of the powerful male characters. The Makari warns Hanuman that Kalanemi is an Asura in the guise of an ascetic who is a false state. When Hanuman went back to hermitage ashram, Kalanemi asked Hanuman for the Guru Dakshana. Hanuman attacks him. Kalanemi changed human form into bird, lion, Sugriva, and finally assumed a form of a mythological animal that had 100 horns called Shatashringi. But ultimately, he was killed in the hands of Hanuman, which mostly narrates in Ranganatha Ramayana. Afterwards, Hanuman proceeds to Dronagiri to get the medicinal herbs to revive Lakshmana. This is the basic story. Now I'm going to show you some of the pictorial relief uh, sculptures, mostly in Srirangam, Taramangalam, and Ahobilam, etc. So this is my background. Hanuman in front of Kalanemi, who is in the guise of a Rishi, sage, mendicant. This is in Cambodia, Angkor Wat. You can see Vishnu with his Sudarsana Chakra killing Kalanemi. So this is in Srirangam, in Sechalaya Mandapa, about 16th century Vijayanagara times. You can see Hanuman with Anjali Hasta in front of Kalanemi, who is in the guise of a sage. He is showing his index finger up under a tree, and always Kalanemi associated with a Kamandalam. So this is also an interesting story of Kalanemi in the same Sesharaya Mandapam of Srirangam. Hanuman is shown as emerging from the stomach of a crocodile with a sword or a dagger in his raised right hand, while his left hand is resting on his waist in Katikasta. He wears ear ornaments, necklaces with beads and udarabandha. He is adorned with kankanas at his wrist and ornaments above his elbows. Here he wears a special type of dress called Ardhoruka. Ardhoruka means a langoti type of dryer. This was a short strip of cloth worn around the waist with an attached piece from the center of the waist, which was drawn up between the legs and tucked behind. So Adhoruka is tied at his waist And Hanuman turns his face the right towards where a female figure with her hands in Anjali Mudra. She is adequately adorned with usual ornaments. So the ear ornaments are large and circular in shape called Vritta Kundalas. The folds of the sari that covers her lower body shows the volumes of the drapery. She wears a tilaka mark on her forehead between her eyes, and her hair is decorated with beaded chains. The crocodile is carved very realistically with its face touching the ground that turns to the right. The animal Makari carved with the winding curls of the tail, scaly skin, and mouth open slightly displayed the sharp teeth. This Makari is Dhyanamali Apsara. Almost similar figure is depicted on the pillar panel in Kailasanatha temple in Taramangalam. In this relief sculpture, the female figure Apsara is not shown. And Hanuman is shown with his right hand raised and fist closed and looking upwards towards the sky by placing his left hand on his thigh, Katihasta. The narrow end of the tail of the animal goes slightly above the rectangular frame of the shaft of the pillar. The mouth of the animal is open and it shows the teeth prominently. This sculpture suggests the death of the crocodile, from which rises the woman called Makari, who addresses Hanuman from the sky, revealing her name as Dhyanamali. Therefore, Hanuman is being surprised with this raises his head up and engages himself in conversation with Dhyanamali. So this is also from Irangam. After realizing the truth, the sage Kalanemi Asura, Hanuman holds the jeta of Kalanemi and right hand raised to beat him, also from Sesharaya Mandapam in Srirangam. In fact, all the three in one pillar. Here you can see Hanuman is not fully shown in Anjali Hasta in front of Kalanemi. And here Hanuman is in the stomach of Makari, Dhyanamali, and his right after the Shapa Vimochana turned in the form of Apsara, Dhyanamali with Anjali Mudra in front of Hanuman. And later Hanuman came to know the sage is none other than Kalanemi Asura, who came here to obstruct his way towards Dronagiri. He is holding the jatas of Kalanemi and about to slap him by raising his hand. So all the three scenes in one pillar at Sesha Raya Mandapam, Srirangam. So this is a pillar panel in Tadipatri. Hold on, wait for a while.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Okay, coming. One second. So this is a pillar panel. Hanuman is standing with Anjali Hasta in front of the ascetic Kalanemi Asura, that is in Tadipatri, and you can see Hanuman's tail is tall, long, and Kalanemi in the form of ascetic, standing or sitting in Padmasana on an elevated pedestal. One second, wait. So Hanuman's tail has raised high above his head, and the tail is curled down. Kalanemi in the case of an ascetic, seated in Padmasana and an elevated pita, with right hand close to his chest. Uh, in Chin Mudra posture, while the left hand is placed on its lap with palm open and facing the sky. His long jettas are bundled neatly tied above his head. He wears beaded necklaces around his neck, and his hands are also adorned with ornaments like bujavalayas, keyuras, and kankanas. The head of the stage is partly tilted, suggesting he is engaged in conversation with Hanuman. This is from a famous temple of Vijayanagara period called Chintala Venkataramana temple at Tadipatri. Here, Hanuman is in aggressive mood and in the act of holding the jatas of Kalanemi with his left hand and the right hand raised high and palm closed tightly. His left leg is placed forward and right leg backwards, and both the legs are bent and at the knee. Kalanemi is displaced from its pita, and he places both his legs on the floor to support himself when he is dragged away by Hanuman, who holds him by his hair. Often, as and when we see Kalanemi, a Kamandalu water pot is shown on the floor to the right of Kalanemi. These two relief sculptures showcase two important stages of Hanuman's encounter with Kalanemi, and viewers can immediately recollect the entire legend by looking at them. The first relief shows the figure of Asura in the case of mendicant, deeply involved in the false meditation when he was approached by Hanuman, who considered him as a sage in the hermitage and requested him to direct him to any waterway in the immediate surroundings. This next picture, which is a continuation of the same legend, is carved with the same figure in different attitudes and poses. It demonstrates almost the final stage of the episode here in this temple in a monoscenic mode that narrates how Hanuman got enraged at Kalanemi for obstructing his journey to Dronagiri and fighting with him. So this is at Narasimha Swami temple at Ahobilam, Hanuman standing on Makari. Left side is the original sculpture, right side is a line drawing. Sorry. In this relief, the female figure, Apsara, is not shown. No, sorry. In this Narasimha temple, Ahobilam, it is noticed a figure of Hanuman standing on the back of the crocodile Makari, holding its jaws with his left hand, and right hand holds a branch of a plant that rests on his right shoulder. His tail, shown on the left, rises high above his head and encircles him. The crocodile below his feet is beautifully carved with its head raised and mouth opened broadly. Hanuman is shown with a simian face, like something like an ape, something like an ape, and human body, and he is adequately adorned with various kinds of ornaments. This sculpture indicates the final stage of narrative of the Shapa Vimochana of Makkarai by Hanuman, mentioned in the Ramayana, written in Telugu language. As the crocodile is shown below the feet of Hanuman. It suggests the end of the episode, although the figure of Janamali is not shown here. Sorry. So here the relief sculpture is fully damaged. Narasimha Temple, Ahobilam. So this is in fact inside the Gopura wall of the Ahobilam temple, carved figure of Hanuman attacking the demon Kalanemi, who is shown as trying to run away from the clutches of the Hanuman, as the latter holds him tightly by his long hair. Kalanemi holds a water pot in his left hand and wears Ardhoruka garment and is portrayed as an ascetic. A curved sword is shown on the down. Hanuman raises his right hand high, which is poised to deliver a slap on the demon. The mouth of the Hanuman is widely open, and he arrests the progress of the running of the demon with his raised left leg as he attacks Kalanemi. A long garland that touches his knees, an udarabandha on his chest, and two necklaces adorn the body. The long winding tail rises above high over his head. So this is another temple called Kodandarama temple in Ontipitta. So here, Asura Kalanemi is shown in the false guise of an ascetic seated on an elevated pita under a tree with Chinmudra in his right hand and water pot on his left hand. His jatas are shown as spread on his shoulders. On his right stands Hanuman with the face of a monkey and human body, and both hands folded in Anjali Hasta. He wears, as usual, ornaments on his body, and his tail is curved, and rises above. His body is lowered a little bit, humble manner, as his knees are slightly bent, and he looks towards the sage. Just behind the standing figure of Hanuman is a carved tree, and its branches are shown above his head, suggest it is a forest environment. Here, Hanuman and Kalanemi being a Kamarupa, he takes different forms like a bird, lion, and then Kalanemi here, he is falling down in human form. So here, Kalanemi, as he is now aware of the fact that the sage in the hermitage is none other than Kalanemi, Hanuman came to know, and he was sent by Ravana to create obstacles and cause delay in bringing Sanjeevani herb to rescue Lakshmana. Kalanemi, in his encounter with Hanuman, has quickly changed his forms as a bird, lion, Sugriva, and a mythological being called Chatasringa with 100 horns to defend himself as well as to kill Hanuman with his magical powers. All Ramayana in Telugu mentioned these different forms almost alike, assumed magically by Kalanemi, and true to the textual narrative of all different stages in combat between Hanuman and Kalanemi are illustrated other sculptures in Rama temple Ontimitta. But nowhere the Chatasranga or the mythical being with 100 horns is shown. Here, Hanuman and Kalanemi in the form of Sugriva and lion. Here, in this panel, The figures of both lion as well as Sugriva in front of Hanuman, whose iconography remains the same, is that of the earlier panels. The inclusion of the lion from along with that of Sugriva here is indicative of the deceitful, cheating nature of the demon, as he realized that he could not kill Hanuman either in the form of or a bird or lion. At least he could pacify Hanuman and dissuade him and convince him that there was no need for Hanuman to go to Dronagiri. So, in this reason, Kalanemi, with his magical powers, assumed the form of Sugriva to stop Hanuman to go to Dronagiri. So, to enable the viewers to visualize these intricacies of the story, the sculptor has shown the figure of Sugriva behind a small size lion facing the figure of Hanuman. His long winding tail is shown with the end above his head. He is adequately adorned with usual ornaments. But some of these panels are very, very badly damaged. That's why I'm showing here line drawing. But regarding the Shatrunga is not shown anywhere. And this is the Kambar Mandapa in Srirangam. No reference of Kalanemi episode mentioned in Kamba Ramayana. But there is a mandapam in Srirangam called Kamba Mandapam, or Kamba Ramayana Mandapam, where Kambar recited Ramayana for the first time. Kambar is the contemporary of Kulotunga Chola III of 12th century. Kambar grew up in Chola Empire under the reign of Kulotunga III. Kulotunga, having heard of his talented bard, he summoned Kambar to his court and honored with the title of Kavi Chakravarti, the emperor of poets. So Kulotunga III built the famous Sharabeshwara or Kamsakareshwara temple at Tribhuvanam near Kumbakonam. And the last one, as Lakshmana was brutally hurt and senseless as Indrajit wielded Shakti weapon, the royal physician Susena asked Hanuman to rush to Dronagiri to fetch 4 important medicinal herbs. As she could not identify the specific herb, he uproots the whole Dronagiri hill and brings it back in time to save Lakshmana.